Father, start with my town. Let your light rise again. Save my town, Lord, save my street. Let your mercy move these feet. Every home, every sound, your spirit turning hearts around.
From the valleys to the skyline, we rise again. Hand in hand, we build this land, women and men. For our daughters, for our sons, for our home and pride. Let peace be our armor, and hope be our guide. Advance South Africa. Advance. Together we stand, together we dance. We dance. Usime sonke, we're one tribe. One chance. For prosperity and unity. Advance. Advance. Advance South Africa. Advance. Hope in our hearts, courage in our stand. Advance. From Cape to Limpopo, from Karoo to the sand. We'll build what we desire. Advance. 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 Oh, oh, oh. Usime sonke. Oh, usime sonke. Every mother safe, every sister free, every daughter's dream protected by we. When our homes are strong, investors come near. A nation in harmony, there's nothing to fear. We are the salt of this land, SALT. We are the salt of this land, SALT. Security, salt of this land. Accountability, salt of this land. Locality, salt of this land. Training. We rise together, every color, every creed, for a nation that gives, not a nation of need. Advance South Africa. Usime sonke, it's our dance. For prosperity and unity, our chance. For prosperity and unity, our chance. Advance South Africa. Usime sonke, it's our dance. For prosperity and unity, our chance. For prosperity and unity, advance. Advance. Oh.
How do you actually fix a broken town? And I'm not talking about small tweaks here and there, but a complete radical overhaul. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty bold blueprint that proposes to do exactly that.
It's a massive question, right? And it's really at the heart of what we're looking at today. We're going to explore a very specific plan that was designed for one town that's grappling with this exact problem.
Okay, so let's get into it. The place we're talking about is the Ngwathi municipality in South Africa. And to really get why the proposed solution is so ambitious, you first have to understand just how deep the crisis there runs.
When you look at this timeline, you start to see a pretty clear pattern. This isn't just a one-off mistake. It's a long history of serious financial trouble. You've got millions in wasteful spending and these qualified audit opinions year after year, which is basically a huge red flag from auditors saying the books are not okay. Then you pile on serious fraud charges involving top officials. Well, you've got the perfect recipe for a total collapse in public trust.
And look, this isn't just about spreadsheets and accounting. All that mismanagement has a very real human cost. We're talking about an unemployment rate around 30% and a staggering 60% of households living in poverty. Those are devastating numbers. Then you add rising crime into the mix, and you've got a community that is just under enormous pressure. So, with all of that as the backdrop, a new plan was proposed. It's called the SALT framework, and it's this really ambitious attempt to fix all of these problems, not just one by one, but all at the same time. So, where does this plan come from? It's the brainchild of a municipal political party called the Southern African Advance, or TSAA for short. This is their vision for how you could systematically rebuild a place like Ngwathi, literally from the ground up.
The whole thing is built around this acronym, SALT. It stands for Safety, Accountability, Local Economy, and Training and Transformation. And the core idea here is that you can't just fix one thing. They argue that all these pieces are interconnected, and they have to work together to create a real cycle of recovery.
So here's a quick look at the game plan for each pillar. It kicks off with a massive focus on safety, then moves to what they call total financial transparency. Then it's about boosting the local economy, and finally, investing in the town's youth. Let's dig into that first one. The white paper makes one thing absolutely clear. Safety is the foundation. It's not negotiable. They argue that without it, nothing else can happen. No investment, no growth, and definitely no trust. And this quote, wow, it just says it all, doesn't it? It's such an uncompromising benchmark. The goal isn't just to lower crime, it's to create an environment where everyone feels completely and totally safe. So how in the world do they plan to do that? Well, it's an aggressive strategy. A huge chunk of the budget, 40%, would go straight to safety. That money would fund everything from trained local reservists to high-tech gear like drones and advanced lighting, and even an app for real-time incident reporting. And critically, they want each neighborhood to help design its own security plan. Okay, on to the second pillar. This one goes right after that history of financial chaos we saw earlier. And, their proposed solution here is just as radical as their safety plan.
This is the promise, right here. Total transparency. No more waiting for some confusing audit report a year later. The idea is to make the town's finances a completely open book that any citizen can look at anytime they want.
And the key tool to make this happen is a public transparency app. I mean, just imagine this. You pull out your phone and you can see every single dollar of tax money coming in and every single contract being paid out. You could see exactly who got the money and what it was for. It's designed to be a tamper-proof public ledger open to absolutely everyone. You wouldn't even need a login. So what's the big idea here? It's really about shifting the power. By making every single transaction visible, the plan aims to make corruption almost impossible. It's about turning every citizen into a watchdog and rebuilding that broken trust through just radical openness. All right, so once you have that foundation of safety and accountability, the framework then pivots to kickstarting the economy. And it focuses on two key areas: where the money is spent and who gets a chance to work.
The third pillar is all about the local economy. The plan mandates that a whopping 80% of all the money the city spends on everything from fixing roads to buying pens has to go to businesses located right there in town. The goal is simple. Make sure public money stays in the community to support local jobs instead of just leaving.
And the fourth pillar, training, sets this incredibly ambitious target. They want to create 5,000 paid internships every single year. The idea is to give every single young person leaving school a direct path into the workforce, helping them build real skills and tackling that huge youth unemployment problem head on. So you can see how these last two pillars are really designed to feed each other. You force the city to buy local, which creates demand for local businesses. And at the same time, the internship program makes sure those businesses have a steady supply of skilled young talent ready to go. So what's the ultimate end game here? What does all this add up to? Well, the white paper argues that these four pillars don't just solve separate problems, they're actually designed to create a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. This is really the core theory of the entire framework. It's a kind of domino effect. They believe that when a town is safe and you can trust its finances, it suddenly becomes a really attractive place for new businesses to invest and for people to move to. And that new investment just fuels the local economy even more, creating what they call a prosperity cycle. And this slide, wow, it really just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? On one side, you have the reality of Nguatha today: crime, murky finances, a struggling economy. And on the other, you have the future envisioned by the SALT framework. The difference is just night and day. It paints a picture of a total transformation. And that vision has a name: prosperity in unity. This isn't just some nice-sounding slogan either. The plan actually puts a number on it. They claim this framework could unlock over 1 billion rand in new economic value for the town in just 5 years. Which, of course, brings us all the way back to that big question we started with. Is this a blueprint that any struggling town could just pick up and use? Or is this a unique vision, one that's really tied to a specific place, a specific time, and the specific beliefs of the people who created it? That's the thought I'll leave you with.
political party just put its entire game plan out there for the whole world to see. I mean everything. For their competitors, their supporters, for you and me. Well, that's exactly what we're looking at today. We're going to deconstruct this really fascinating modern political playbook. It's all about winning a local election, but not just by getting votes. No, their whole strategy is about dominating what they call mind share. We're going to unpack how they plan to win, literally one click and one conversation at a time.
So who is this party with such a gutsy plan? They're called the Southern African Advance, or TSAA for short. They're a brand new municipal party, and they've got their eyes locked on the 2026 local elections in South Africa. And yeah, in a move that's pretty much unheard of, they've published their entire strategy. It's all out in the open.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. We'll look at their new playbook, their mission, what they call the SALT framework, then we'll get into the digital battlefield, their daily engagement engine, how they turn clicks into community, and finally, we'll ask, is this actually a winning formula?
Okay, first up, the playbook itself. And let me tell you, this is not your typical run-of-the-mill campaign. Think of it more like a surgical strike, super laser-focused on one single local election.
So their playbook, which they literally call the Mind Share Dominance Playbook, is all about winning one specific place, the Engwethe local municipality. So what does Mind Share Dominance even mean? Well, think about it like this. They want to be so present in voters' lives, on their phones, in their communities, in their conversations, that there's almost no room for anyone else. It's about becoming the default political topic, basically drowning out all the other noise.
All right, a cool strategy is one thing, but what's the why behind it all? What's the mission? Let's dig into the core ideas driving this whole thing, because it's all about tackling some very real, very specific local issues.
Okay, so the party is basically framing itself as the solution to problems like this. 21 million rand. That's how much money their documents show was wasted in Ngwato in just a single year. And this isn't just a budget overrun. Fruitless and wasteful expenditure means money was spent, and the public got literally nothing in return. It just vanished. So TSAA is basically pointing at that number and saying, we're here to stop this.
And it's not just about wasted money, you know? It's about people's lives. They're also taking aim at huge economic problems, like the unemployment rate, which is sitting at around a staggering 30%. I mean, that's almost 1 in 3 people. These are the kinds of real-world issues that they say their plan is built to fix, especially that local economy pillar we're about to talk about.
So to tackle all this, they've built their entire platform around this really simple, really memorable acronym, the SALT framework. It stands for Safety, Accountability, Local Economy, and Training and Transformation. You have to admit, it's pretty clever. It makes everything they stand for super easy to understand and, more importantly, easy for voters to remember and repeat.
Now for their safety pillar, they use this benchmark. And wow, is it powerful. If a 3-year-old is not safe walking alone to a park, we have failed. Think about that. They're not throwing crime stats at you. They're not talking about police budgets. They're setting a standard that's all about how safety should feel. It's a gut punch. It completely bypasses all the boring data and goes straight for an emotional connection. Honestly, it's a brilliant bit of messaging.
Then you've got accountability. And their idea here is, well, it's pretty radical. We're not talking about some dusty annual report you have to dig for. Nope. They're promising that every single resident can see every single cent coming in and going out of the town's bank accounts in real time. It's a level of transparency you just don't see in government.
And here's the kicker. This is how they plan to actually do it. They're talking about a public app, an app where you can see every transaction. Just imagine that for a second. You could pull out your phone, search for a payment, and see exactly who got paid, how much, and for what. All there. Talk about a powerful tool for accountability, right? It puts the power right back in the hands of the residents.
Okay, so the mission is clear. It's built around SALT, but how do you get that message out there? This is where we get into the digital battlefield. They've figured out exactly where the voters are, and they've got a whole attack plan ready to go. So look, their strategy is super realistic. They're not trying to be on every single social media platform out there. That would be a waste of time and money. Instead, they're focusing like a laser on the big 3 in South Africa: WhatsApp, Facebook, and TikTok. Why? Because that's where everybody is, and that's exactly where they plan to dominate the conversation.
And this is where it gets really smart. They're not just blasting the same message everywhere. It's a tailored approach. For the younger crowd on TikTok, it's all about viral skits and fun hashtag challenges. For the grassroots organizing, that's happening on WhatsApp in all the local groups. And for reaching the older folks, they're using Facebook for targeted ads and live-streamed community meetings. It's a perfect example of knowing your audience and meeting them where they are. Honestly, it's like a masterclass in digital marketing, but for politics.
Okay, so having a smart plan for each platform is great, but it's not enough to get that mindshare dominance they're after. To do that, you have to become a habit. You have to weave yourself into people's daily routines, and that's where their daily engagement engine comes into play.
The centerpiece of this whole thing is their flagship show, The Daily Advance. And get this, it's an hour-long live show every single day right at lunchtime. The schedule is super specific. They start with some music, then they have training videos explaining the SALT pillars, then a live chat with the team, and they even take time to answer questions from all the platforms. It ends with a clear call to action. I mean, the commitment to do this every day is huge, but it's absolutely key to their plan of becoming a daily fixture in people's lives.
But here's something the playbook gets absolutely right. Clicks and likes are great, but they don't automatically turn into votes. You've got to turn that online buzz into real-world trust. You have to get offline, shake hands, and actually build a community.
So how do they bridge that digital to physical gap? With a whole bunch of offline events. And we're not talking about boring political rallies here. They're planning fun runs to talk about safety, community yard sales, talent shows, stuff people actually want to go to. And here's another smart little detail. At every single event, they're using QR codes for on-the-spot signups. So they're taking that face-to-face energy and immediately plugging it back into their digital machine. It creates this amazing feedback loop.
All right, we've seen the plan, we've seen the tactics, but what does winning actually look like for them? How do they measure success? Well, true to form, they've published their goals for everyone to see. When you boil it all down, this entire detailed playbook comes down to 3 big goals. First, get a 50% jump in their membership. Second, boost voter turnout by 20%, which, by the way, is a massive increase. And third, the big one, win the whole municipality. These aren't small goals. They are incredibly ambitious. And by putting them out there, they're basically saying, here's our report card. Judge us on this. So all of this leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? Is this what the future of local politics looks like? This hyper-detailed, super transparent, digitally savvy playbook. Could this become the new standard? Or is being this open a huge risk that's just going to backfire? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing's for sure, everyone who's interested in politics should be keeping a very close eye on Wathe come 2026.
Father, start with my town. Let your light rise again. Save my town, Lord, save my street. Let your mercy move these feet. Every home, every sound. Your spirit turning hearts around. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the corrupt lead, the people groan. Father, we choose rejoicing. Oh, Father, put the righteous in power. Oh, Let your glory flood this hour.
From the valley to the tower, we declare your reign of power.